Nope.
Yeah.
Okay, this is my audience. In ancient Greece, people told wild imaginative stories called myths. A myth is just a completely fictional story, and in ancient Greece, myths were used to explain the creation of earth, death, the afterlife, and the human experiences such as rage or love. These stories were about a diversity of gods and goddesses that they believed in. Each god or goddess was worshipped and ruled over certain things like the ocean, love, or the sky. It is said that the Greeks were the first to create gods in their own image. The Greek gods looked and acted human, and they fought, married, loved, and had affairs. The only thing that has kept the ancient culture alive is stories handed down through generations of people over thousands of years. These stories have had moral lessons that can be related to even in today's time. To understand Greek mythology, you must understand the Titans, the gods and goddesses, and their mythical history. At first, the Greeks thought that there was nothing, and then there was Gaia. She was called the Earth Goddess. Gaia mated with her son, Uranus, and they had children called the Titans. The most well-known Titan is Cronus. Their other children are giants, Furies, and Typhonels, the 1,000-headed monster. Cronus became the ruling Titan by castrating his father Uranus and separating him from Gaia. Cronus and his wife Rhea had many children. There was a prophecy saying that one of his children was going to destroy him and take all of his power. So he started eating his kids. Rhea was upset that she had lost all of her children and fed him a rock instead of feeding him her son Zeus. Once Zeus grew older, he led a revolution that sent all of the Titans to Tartarus in the underworld. Mount Olympus is where all the Olympians lived. It is said to have towered up from the center of the earth, but the myths are vague whether it was a mountain or part of the heavens. Olympians are the major gods. There are 12 of them. There are also many minor gods. The names of the Olympians are Zeus, Poseidon, Hades, Hesta, Hera, Ares, Athena, Apollo, Aphrodite, Hermes, Artemis, and Hephaestus. Zeus drew lots with his brothers after defeating Cronus and won being the ruler of the gods. He's also the ruler of the sky. His weapon is the thunderbolt, which he throws at anybody who angers him. He is also known as the god of the skies, the god of justice, mercy, protector of the weak, and punisher of the wicked. Poseidon is the god of the sea and protector of the waters. He married to Amphitrite, the granddaughter of Oceanus, and created the horse. He was widely worshipped by fishermen, and Zeus is known to be a very quarrelsome god because he always fought with other gods over their land and their cities. Hades got the short end of the stick when they drew lots. He was the god of the underworld and ruled the dead. He was greedy and always wanted more subjects. And he welcomed the Furies, but he never let any subjects leave. He is also the god of wealth because jewels and metals come from the ground, and so he got rich. His weapon is an invisible helmet. Hesta is a virgin goddess, and she doesn't have a distinct personality. She's the most charitable, upright, and mild of all the Olympians. She is the goddess of the hearth, and every city would have a hearth dedicated to her, and the flame was never allowed to go out. Hera was Zeus's wife and sister, and she is the supreme goddess of all the gods, and she is a goddess of marriage and childbirth. Her marriage with Zeus was forced in a way because he tricked her into marrying him. He tried dating her for a while, but she didn't like him, so He turned himself into a bird, and he looked really disheveled, I guess, so she picked him up and put him against her breast, and then he changed into himself, and she was so surprised that he took control of that and raped her. And she is mostly known for being jealous over Zeus's infidelity in his affairs. And Ares is the god of war. He is the son of Hera and Zeus. He is considered murderous and bloodstained, but is a huge coward. Athena is the goddess of wisdom, reason, activity, art, and literature. She is Zeus's favorite daughter, and she does not have a mother. It is said that she was born from Zeus's skull, and she was already fully grown. She is the only god that was ever allowed to use Zeus's thunderbolt. Apollo is the god of music, healing, light, and truth. His one job is to carry the sun across the earth in his golden chariot. Aphrodite is the goddess of love, desire, and beauty. Her husband is Hephaestus. Hermes is the messenger of the gods because he is the fastest. He wears winged shoes and a winged hat and carries a magic wand. He is the god of the thieves. Artemis has a twin, is the twin of Apollo. She is the goddess of chastity, virginity, the hunt, and the moon. She hunts with silver arrows and looks over people while they're in childbirth. Her sacred animal is the deer. Hephaestus is the only god who was born ugly, and he was also born lame. It is said that he became lame because Hera was so upset at having an ugly son that she threw him off of Mount Olympus. And Hephaestus is the god of the forge and fire. He is patron god to the smiths and weavers, and is a kind and peace-loving god. In this speech, I have covered the Greek gods and goddesses, and which has hopefully been able to give you more of an look into Greek mythology.